90 Day Fiancé fandom is having a field day with all the drama unfolding on the single life. The complicated dynamics have certainly kept the fandom glued to their seats. The newest episode effortlessly serves up plenty of drama for eager fans to munch on. The most dramatic arc featured the tension between Sophie Sierra and Pedro Jimeno. These two reality TV stars have been making headlines for the past year over their supposed relationship. Many sleuthing fans joined the dots to discover that they were together. However, many fans were frustrated with the stars keeping it hush. Now the new episodes have given the much-awaited answers as to why they did so. The stars are seemingly at odds, leaving Sophie to miss Pedro's undivided attention. 90 Day Fiancé. Liz's reality check has fragmented Pedro and Sophie's relationship. The single life has featured Sophie in her single era. The 90 Day Fiancé star had just come out of a serious relationship just ahead of the filming. Therefore, she wasn't looking to jump into a relationship just yet. Just months before filming, Sierra and her ex-husband were still casually hooking up while they were in the process of finalizing their divorce. Apparently, Pedro was unaware of all these and thus pursued Sophie relentlessly during filming. Liz was aware of her friend's emotional state. Thus, she deemed it right to come clean to Pedro about it all. Needless to say, it didn't sit right with Pedro, since he had put so much effort into thinking about the future. Therefore, his confrontation with Sophie left them on fragmented terms. The aftermath was an explosive fight between the girlfriends. 90 Day Fiancé. Sophie has started to miss Pedro after he became unavailable. 90 Day Fiancé recast Sophie Sierra for the spin-off, The Single Life, just after her divorce from her ex-husband, Rob Warren. However, around that time, she started seeing Pedro casually. The chemistry between them was undeniable. Needless to say, they were going around places, spending time with each other more than ever. Although she wasn't in the right headspace for a serious relationship, Pedro was. Sophie divorced recently, while it has been quite some time since Pedro's divorce. Therefore, Pedro thought they had something real and were exclusive. Thus, he put in a great deal of effort. Sophie, on the other hand, considered herself single, but also liked Pedro's undivided devotion. When Liz's statement led to an uncomfortable confrontation between the lovebirds, things fell apart. Faced with reality, Pedro removed himself entirely from the equation and ghosted Sierra. In the recent episode, Sophie sat down with her other girlfriend, Julia. As Julia solemnly described her emotions, she was evidently missing Pedro a lot. "Even though I'm not ready for a relationship, I am still trying to get to know him, and I actually do like him," she stated. Moreover, the space between them had apparently made Sophie realize that she really liked Pedro, but she was scared that nothing could be done after Liz's interference. Apparently, she apologized to Pedro many times, but he kept ignoring her texts. Tonight, we turn to a developing story within the extended universe of 90 Day Fiancé, a franchise known for emotional highs, painful breakups, and complicated international love stories. In a surprising revelation, Sophie Sierra has reportedly opened up about missing Pedro Jimeno after what she describes as being ghosted. The situation has sparked intense speculation among fans, raising questions about emotional closure, communication, and the psychological toll of public relationships. While neither party has issued a lengthy formal statement, Sophie's emotional admission has set social media into overdrive. A familiar name resurfaces. Pedro Jimeno is no stranger to controversy within the 90 Day Fiancé universe. Known for his turbulent marriage to Chantel Everett and their eventual divorce, Pedro's relationship history has been heavily scrutinized by fans. Over the years, Pedro's journey, from immigration challenges to marital breakdown, played out in front of millions. His storyline became one of the franchise's most talked about arcs. Now, with Sophie Sierra expressing that she misses him after being ghosted, viewers are asking, what exactly happened behind the scenes? What does ghosted really mean? In today's dating culture, ghosting refers to abruptly cutting off communication without explanation. No goodbye, no closure, just silence. For someone in the public eye, ghosting carries an added layer of complexity. When relationships unfold under public scrutiny, sudden silence can feel amplified, not just personally, but publicly. Sources suggest Sophie felt blindsided by the sudden communication cutoff. According to her remarks, there were no clear warning signs. Conversations reportedly slowed, then stopped altogether. For many fans, the emotional weight of her words stood out more than the situation itself. The emotional impact. Missing someone who has cut off contact can be deeply destabilizing. Psychologists often describe ghosting as a form of ambiguous loss, where there is no definitive ending, only silence. Sophie's admission that she misses Pedro suggests unresolved feelings, whether romantic, emotional, or simply nostalgic. The statement indicates that the connection held meaning for her. In reality television, relationships often move quickly. Bonds are formed under intense circumstances. But when those bonds dissolve without explanation, the emotional consequences can linger. Pedro's silence. As of now, Pedro Jimeno has not publicly addressed Sophie's comments. His silence has only fueled speculation. Is he avoiding drama, protecting privacy, or distancing himself intentionally? Fans are divided. Some argue that Pedro has the right to step away from any situation he chooses. Others believe that ghosting, particularly after emotional investment, reflects a lack of accountability. Without a direct response, interpretations remain speculative. Fan reaction. Within hours of Sophie's comments circulating online, fan communities began dissecting every detail. Supporters of Sophie describe her as vulnerable and honest, applauding her for expressing emotion rather than masking it. Others question the timeline of events, wondering how serious the connection truly was. The 90-Day Fiancé audience is known for passionate debate, and this situation is no exception. The broader pattern in reality TV. The situation also highlights a recurring pattern in reality television: relationships that begin intensely but end abruptly. When connections form in high-pressure environments, whether through long-distance arrangements, cultural adjustments, or filming schedules, emotional dynamics can shift quickly. Pedro's past relationships, particularly his marriage to Fiancé, were marked by communication breakdowns and mistrust. Some fans are now drawing parallels, questioning whether avoidance has become a recurring theme. However, without confirmation from Pedro himself, such assumptions remain speculative. Sophie's perspective. What stands out most in this unfolding story is Sophie's willingness to admit vulnerability. Public figures often hesitate to reveal emotional longing, especially after perceived rejection. Yet Sophie's statement that she misses Pedro suggests authenticity. It also signals that despite the drama often associated with 90-Day Fiancé, the emotions involved are real. Behind the headlines and hashtags are individuals navigating attachment, disappointment, and hope, just like anyone else. What happens next? Several possibilities remain. Pedro may issue a statement clarifying his side of the story. Sophie may elaborate further on what led to the ghosting. Or the situation may quietly fade without resolution. In the 90-Day Fiancé universe, silence rarely lasts forever. Storylines often resurface when least expected. If Pedro does respond, the tone and timing of that response could significantly influence public perception. Final thoughts. At its core, this story is not just about reality TV personalities. It is about communication, or the lack of it. Ghosting, particularly after emotional intimacy, leaves unanswered questions. For Sophie, those unanswered questions appear to have translated into lingering feelings. Whether this chapter leads to reconciliation, confrontation, or closure remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: in the world of 90-Day Fiancé, even silence can become headline news. We will continue to monitor this developing situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. Stay with us for further coverage.